Okay, for exercise 2, if we go back to our example, we need to create a timber section. So we need to create a timber section to work in the following manner. Alright, so if we go to exercise 2, you will notice that I've given you some fill line work. So if you click on the fill, it'll come pre-populated with information. So you can see I've preset the line weights, the materials, everything. Now we need to make a smart little object that we can use very quickly to create a quick series of timber sections. Okay, so for this exercise, you can work anywhere to do this. Okay, so totally up to you. So again, you don't want to be manual like we've done with this exercise. We need to start building a library of information, and you need to create different sections based on this information that you see at the bottom here. Okay, so what we can do is you need to go to the fill command. Now you can use the fill command, you can use these settings, you can see it presets all of these settings for you. Now if you use the fill tool and you create a rectangle and I start drawing, again I want a 38 by 38. Good. So if you zoom in, you see the materials match. In addition, I need to add some line work. So if you go back to the example, we need to create a timber section. So this is a timber section, and this will be a timber beam on elevation. They will represent differently. Okay, so now you can delete this once it's done, totally up to you. Now we've got some more, it's called hatch line. Now typically if you go to the line work tool, if you click on line work, sometimes you can build these in. So if you go to, so maybe go to favorites. Okay, sometimes if you can't see, you might have to go to, if you can't see information, sometimes just check how this has been set up. Okay, it's hard to see stuff sometimes. Okay, you can preset line work, drafting. Okay, I just want to see, I did have a hatch line. Here it is here, hatch line. So I can use this hatch line, and you can see it's preset with the information that I need. So double click, you can see it's solid, and if I go here, it's at the correct layer. Press OK. So I didn't have to do the same thing. Because I've pre-built it into my library, I can simply use the line work on the fly. So I'm going to click this point over here and click that point over here. Remember, you've got different drawing methods. If you use this method, it will be a chain. It'll be a chain series of lines, so you might have to double click after every. So if I click once, I click again, you'll see that the command's still active, so you might just have to double click to exit the command. So just select the correct bit of line work. You can create rectangles that are square, totally up to you. Okay, now that I've got this line work in place, I can do the same thing. Select everything, go to File, Libraries. I'm going to say Save as Selection, Object. Now, 2D items, so this will be 38 by, but you don't even have to do that. You need to call it timber section. Timber section, just like this. Great, so because you can use it again and again. I'm going to press Save, press OK. Once again, please go to Object Library. I want you to export this as well. So you need to go click on your library, Object, timber section, go to Library. Okay, so Library Objects, so go to Open Library Objects, and I want you to export this timber section as well. So export that as well, keep it in the same. Okay, press OK. Okay, done. Now, with this option, I can get rid of that now. You can override other objects as well. So now I need to create the right timber sections and put them in the right location. So I'm going to go back to my object. It is timber section, but now I need to decide. I want to use the snapping of the middle. So here I've got an option. I want a 38 by 38, just like that. Great. So if I go and drop this object in over there, there's my 38 by 38. Okay. Now while the command's active, I can change this to a 50 by 75 or 76. It should have been a 76, by the way. Okay, 76 mil, that's a typical timber section, so that I'll address. Make it a 76, but for the exercise it's not going to affect anything. Just understand this is how you do it. I want a 38 by 11, so 38. Press tab on your keyboard, should go to the next value. 38. So I want a 114. Okay, the next one will be a 50. Okay, so this is a much better way to work if you're going to use this information repetitively. So brick courses, timber sections, you don't want to be drafting the stuff over and over. You want to use blocks. You want to work intelligently. 152. Okay, so for this exercise, once you've done that, what I need you to do, go back to the example. You need to measure that distance for me. So you'll need to go to annotate. You'll need to go and pick the right annotation object. So go to properties. There'll be a measure. Just use the measure command, and I want you to measure. So if you can't select an object, tab will also work, but I want that corner and I want that corner, for example. And double click in a direction. Just remember, you need to hold it on. You need to give me this direction. Don't worry about moving this back in the right. Don't worry about moving this back close. You can move it. Just remember, you'll need to lock it on X and Y, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so you want to snap this at an angle. You can move it back, but technically, I just want you to give me this dimension. So 931. Okay. So whatever that dimension, whatever I've asked you to measure there, please provide me with that measurement. Okay.